Hello, good morning. It's Friday. I hope you're excited as I am. I'll be continuing to talk about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and today I'll be talking about the law of process and also the law of navigation. So, what's the law of the process? The law of the process simply says that leaders develop daily, not in a day. So leadership is not an overnight success. It's not something you just stumble on and overnight you develop. It's a consistent process, something you do on a daily basis. Leaders develop daily, not in a day, not overnight. Leadership is a process that develops slowly through tenacity and consistent growth. The growth has to be consistent. It's something you do little bits every day. And over time, you'll become truly perfect. If you want to do it a one-off thing, there's a limit to what you can actually do in a day. But if you keep doing the same thing over time, then after a period of time, you're going to achieve great success. Take, for example, a newborn baby, a child that's born. There's a process before that child can begin to run. A child is not just born and then stumbles on running. There is a process. And John talks about the rule of 5. What is your rule of 5? What are the 5 things you do on a daily basis? Going back to the baby analogy, a baby must go through 5 processes before he can run or before she can run. The baby must first learn to sit, and then to crawl, and then to stand and walk before eventually they can run. And that's what leadership is about. It's a process. So what is your rule of 5? What are those things you do on a daily basis? That you do 5 things over and over again. And then you become truly successful at it. You must have your rule of 5. Leadership is not something that is done overnight. It's a process. It develops on a daily basis. If you take another example, an athlete. Hello, Gloria. Thank you for joining. Hi, Folake, Big Sis. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. So if we take another analogy of an athlete who's going to run a full marathon, which is 42 kilometers. It's not going to just stumble on it. There has to be a process. He has to first of all start with maybe a 5-kilometer run daily and then advance to a 10-kilometer, do 15 and then a half marathon. It has to be something that develops. You can't just wake up, you've never run before, and then you say you want to do a full marathon. Wow, what failure that person is going to go through. And that is what leadership is. Leadership is not gained overnight. It's something that builds. It's a process. So what is your rule of 5? What are the 5 things you do daily? What is it that you want to do, that you want to continue doing to be consistent so that you can actually get that overall process, overall success? There has to be a process in place. For any successful leader, go and check any successful leader that you can think about. They didn't just stumble on being successful today. They started from somewhere. There's a growth pattern. There's a growth pattern. So you must have your growth pattern. What is your growth pattern? Whatever it is that you're thinking of doing. We're coming to the end of 2016 and 2017 is coming on. What do you want to do for 2017? Where do you want to see yourself? What plans do you have in place? What process are you putting in place to see that you actually achieve that success? Is it your weight loss? Is it the growth of your business? Where do you want to advance to? What is it that you're doing? You must have a process in place. You can achieve it overnight. So I just want to leave us with this word on the law of process. That you must be intentional. It's something you must do day in, day out. You must be doing it consistently. And then you're doing the right thing. John talks about it talks about the difference between an event and a process. What is an event? An event, it says an event encourages decisions, but a process encourages development. An event motivates people. A process matures people. An event is a calendar issue. A process is a culture issue. An event challenges people. A process changes people. An event is easy. A process is difficult. And that is true. A process is difficult because you have to build it. You have to start from, it may be difficult when you start, but when you keep doing it over time. Hello Laurel, thanks for joining in. Good to hear from you again. A process is difficult. It's something you have to do continuously. You have to be consistent. You have to be intentional about what you do. So what is it you're doing today? Where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now, 1 year from now? What plans, what process are you taking to see that you actually achieve that success which you desire? Again, the law of process says, leaders develop daily, not in a day. Leadership is not an overnight success. It's not something you stumble on overnight. You must have a process in place. John also talks about the phases, the different phases of leadership. You start from a phase of, I don't know what I don't know. That's the first phase. When you start, you really do not know what you don't know. And do you acknowledge that you truly don't know what you don't know? Again, here I'll use the analogy of a car. When you want to start driving a car, you have to learn. So when you stumble on a car, you probably don't know where the accelerator is or how to change the gear. You don't know what you don't know. And then you advance to the next phase, which is I know what I don't know. You've come to that realization that, oh, I don't know this. I know I don't know how to drive a car. I know I don't know where the accelerator is. And then there's somebody who is guiding me. There's somebody who is showing me where the accelerator is. And then you advance to the next phase, which is that I know what I don't know. The second phase is I know that I need to know. At that point, you're getting people to show you, getting a guide. And then the third phase is I know what I don't know. You've come to that realization that you don't know. But you're learning and you're beginning to see that, oh yes, I really did not know how to change the gear. I really did not know where the accelerator was. I really did not know where the brakes were. And then you're learning. And then the fourth stage is I know what I know. You've come to that realization. Now you know where the accelerator is. You know where the gear is. You know how to change gear. You know how to accelerate or to move from gear 1 to gear 2 on to gear 3 and to gear 4. At this point, you begin to grow. Because you know, you begin to grow. And it starts to show. So people see it. And that's what it is in leadership. When you first start, you probably don't know what you're doing. But you don't stop. You keep at it. You learn. You read. You do whatever it takes that will make you advance to the next level. And then when you get to the phase 4, when it begins to show, you begin to grow. And people begin to see it in you that you truly are learning. You know what you're doing. And then you move on to the last phase, which is the 5th phase. You simply go because you know. At this stage, if you take the car analogy again, many times, because we've perfected the art of driving, or we've done it over time, we find ourselves driving. You could drive for like a minute or two without even looking or concentrating. You're doing it because you know you are on autopilot now. And that's how it is with leadership. When you get to that stage where you've really advanced and you know what you're doing and it begins to show, you simply just go because you know what you're doing. Again, This is the autopilot stage, the automatic stage. But not many people really get here. Most people just stay on the level 4. But we must advance. We must develop ourselves. Because it is at the level 5, that's where the payoff begins to show. So that's the law of process. So what are you doing today? What stage do you see yourself? What phase of leadership are you? Are you in the phase 1? Are you in the phase 4? Are you at phase 5? Whatever phase you are, keep doing what you're doing. It's a process. It's not an overnight success, achievement. It's something that you do continuously. You must intentionally grow. The next law I want to talk about is the law of navigation. And with the law of navigation, John simply says that anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. As a leader, how well are you charting the course of your organization? How well are you leading your people? Who is charting the course for you? Are you charting the right course? Where are you? Where are you leading the ship? How are you steering the ship? Who is charting the course once more? A quote from Leroy Ain says that a leader is one who sees more than others see, who sees farther than others see, and who sees before others see. So a leader has an intuition to see ahead. He sees farther than others see, and he sees even before others see. In your leadership journey, how far are you seeing? How well are you leading the people who are looking up to you? On what path are you guiding them? Where are you leading the people that are following you? With the law of navigation, it's all about planning. You have to be prepared. Preparation. The law of navigation is simply about preparation. What preparations are you making? What preparations do you have to guide the people who are following you so that you can actually chart the right course? John talks about 7 things. He calls it plan ahead. The first one is that as a leader, you must predetermine the course of action. For you to lead effectively, you must predetermine the course of action. So where are you leading your people? You can't lead people to where you don't know. It's not possible. So, do you know where you're going for you to be able to lead others? How well are you leading them? That's the first one of the plan ahead, that you predetermine the course of action. And then the second one is that you lay out your goals. Once you have predetermined the course of action, if you're working with a team or you're working in your organization and you have your board of directors or your team in place, once you have predetermined the course of action, the next thing is to lay out the goals. You lay out the goals, you make sure that everybody is aware of the goals of the organization. And that is the L. And the A is that you adjust your priorities. Once you have laid out your goals, you go through your goals that you have laid out. Check which ones are of topmost priority. They may be important, but they're not necessarily your top priority. So you must adjust your priority. Once you have adjusted your priority, you notify your team, you notify the key personnel in your team. Those who you will need as your decision makers, your inner circle, you notify them. That's the N. And then the next one is the A. You allow time for them to buy into it. Allow time for them to accept the goals that you have laid out. And the next one, once everybody has bought into that, whatever the plan is, it's time to head into action. And then the next one is that you expect problems. You cannot have plans and not anticipate that there will be problems along the way. So what are you doing to ensure that whatever problems that come in, you are prepared, you're ready to take them on, you're ready to tackle them? You must be prepared. And then the next one is that you always point to successes. Whatever your goals are, you must have a positive attitude. You cannot be pessimistic with your plans. So you must always point to successes. Yes, there will be problems. Yes, you will anticipate problems. But you must always point ahead to successes. And then the last one of the plan ahead is that you daily review your plans. You must review your plans. You must see where you are. Where do you need to tweak the plans? What do you need to change? What do you need to adjust? So you daily review your plans. So the law of preparation is simply about preparing ahead. It's about preparation. And if you know where your weaknesses are, you know who is strong in your team that can actually come on in that particular aspect. So even though we all have the same vision, we have different skill sets. So you must have people who have different skill sets in your team. You have an engineer, you have someone who is an IT person, you have someone who is in customer service, someone who is good with finances. So where you are weak, there's someone else who is strong there that can actually come on board and play that role. So that's the law of navigation. It's all about preparation. Anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course and to chart the right course. So what course are you charting for your organization, for your team, in your home? Are you charting the right course? I hope you are. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your day. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Be blessed.